Muy buenas tardes, buenos días o buenas noches, dependiendo a la hora que usted esté viendo este programa. Creo que es la segunda ocasión que nos pueden ver en video a las chicas de BearGirls. Ya mis compañeras anteriormente con la gran entrevista que le hicieron a Víctor Hasbani, un personaje que, bueno, mucha gente lo sigue en Twitter y con su libro excelente. Entonces, por ahí, si se la perdieron, se las recomiendo mucho. Va a estar en YouTube de los fanaticosos para que le den una vueltecita por ahí con esta súper entrevista que estuvieron. Este día estamos muy emocionadas. Nosotras tres queremos agradecerle infinitamente a la persona que tenemos aquí, que está justo en la pantalla, debajo, abajito aquí de mí, que ella es la mamá de Larry Borom. Así es. Es la madre de este jugador de nuestro equipo y estamos muy emocionadas y muy contentas porque esté aquí con nosotros, porque nos haya aceptado esta invitación. Y pues el tema es hablar de cómo vive una mamá de un futbolista, de un jugador de fútbol americano, cómo vive su día a día, ¿no? Queremos saber sus experiencias, sus opiniones, y la verdad que estamos muy contentas. Y pues presento al roster que siempre me acompaña, que las quiero mucho, chicas. Almis, buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, amigas, buenas tardes. Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y ustedes?
Todo bien, todo bien. ¿Y tú,
Súper.
Heidi?
Yo de maravilla, feliz de tener a nuestra invitada especial y de estar con ustedes para otro nuevo programa.
Episodio.
Así es, creo que lo pueden ver en las pantallas cómo nos brilla la sonrisa, pero para los que no, pues que nos están nada más quizá escuchando por Spotify o Apple Podcast, pues bueno, nuestra sonrisa está de oreja a oreja. También aclararles que este episodio va a ser completamente en inglés, así que pues paren bien los oídos, paren bien las orejillas y pues vamos a comenzar.
Okay. So, welcome, Joelle, to the BearGirls podcast. Thank you for accepting the invitation. We are so honored and happy to have you. Our podcast is made by women because we want to show the female side of how we live the game, the NFL, and the love for the Chicago Bears. People always talk about the game, coaches, players, but hardly about their moms. When you think about it, every individual out there has a mom, and this show is about you as an NFL player's mom. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where do you live? Do you have any other children? What about your hobbies?
All right. Well, we're from the Detroit area, and I have Larry, and then I have a 13-year-old daughter. So I got a big age difference between the two kids. And we love it here. I don't know if we're leaving anytime soon. We've been here all our lives. Just thinking about changing states and moving is a little nervous for me.
Yeah, it must be quite difficult, right? Because you don't know where you're going to end at least.
Exactly. You know, eventually I want to be wherever Larry is, at least close. You know, this is closer than we were when he was in college, so I'll take it.
Perfect. Yeah, he was like in Missouri, right?
He was.
Wow.
It was a plane ride and then a 2.5 hour drive to get to Mizzou. And I did it almost weekly, especially during season. During season, I was there all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we know that our mom, they are like really important for us, right? So I know personally that moms always want the best for us. So
Yeah.
what was your first reaction when Larry was dropped by the Bears in the 5th round on 2021?
First, I was so relieved that he was going to be close to home. I was crying and I just said, "Oh my God, you're going to be close to home, Larry. You're close to home." And that meant the world to me. I wasn't happy about the 5th round. It put a bigger chip on our shoulder. I feel like that he got slept on a lot, but it's okay because he's making his point now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's a starter and he's a very, very important one. His job is protecting our quarterback. What else do you want? I mean,
Exactly.
That's
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So Almis was about to ask the question. So how is an everyday life as an NFL player's mom? I mean, do you go to the games pretty often, or do you have like any particular ritual before or during the game? You know, like maybe you put your son's jersey on, or maybe a cap or socks or something.
My routine is always the morning of the game to send Larry a very inspirational text. I try not to talk to him the morning of the game, give him his time to mentally get prepared, but I always try to send him something very inspirational and let him know how much I love him and how very proud I am to be his mom.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's so nice.
That's very nice. And it starts my next question. How do you manage positive and negative comments? How do you shut the outside noise, whether it's social media guys, fans, because we can be very harsh.
Yeah.
I mean,
We all know
Very
and
true.
are hard.
The
and
Bear
you're
fans are
very
passionate. They're passionate about
yeah.
their city and about their sports, and I get it. In the back of my mind, I always hear Larry's voice like, "Don't respond, Ma, don't respond." So I have to be mindful. And believe me, there have been a lot of times where I wanted to DM somebody and let them have it about comments. And I just, you know what, I said, these people, you know what, they're fans. They enjoy the sport. They're passionate. They really don't get what's going on right now. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to let it play out. And everybody will see when it's all said and done who's on the field. That's really all that matters at this point. Who's on the field.
So just to be honest, have you ever responded to somebody?
I think I have, and Larry got wind of it and right away was like, take it down.
You know why, Joelle?
Down.
Because I am a mom too, and nobody can touch your kids, right? So
Right.
it must be very difficult for you. I wouldn't stay quiet. So that's a big I mean, I respect you so much for that, because you have to you have to manage that in a not a positive way exactly, but just being quiet and not responding to those comments, being so active on social media because you're very active. I think that's huge, because I've seen couples before getting very angry. they have just they have to leave Twitter. Actually, I'm talking about Twitter especially, because they get so angry, and I understand them, but I get that you understand us fans. But you know what? Media.
You know,
I don't like them. I don't like them.
We're people. We all have feelings. Our feelings can all be hurt. You have to just know when to not respond. And sometimes saying nothing means more. It says more when you say nothing. You don't add fuel to the fire. Some of these people are just looking to get things stirred up. They're looking for likes and they're looking for followers. So they'll say whatever just to get a rise. And if you don't give them that rise, eventually they're quiet. They'll quiet down. And I found now also there's a lot, I don't have to say anything. There's fans out there that will say it for me. So that makes me feel good.
You're right. You're right.
Have you talked about this with Larry?
I'm sorry?
Have you talked about this with Larry, about like the social media comments and the media?
Yes.
Pressure.
Yes. And I think we got a good dose of it while he was in college. And as funny as it is, the conversation wasn't me having it with Larry. It was Larry having it with me. Had to really sit down and really, give me the ins and outs about social media and being on social media. And he gave me the little critiques and things. And he also said, do not believe what you read. He said, if there's something you need to know, I'll let you know, Mom. If you don't hear it from me, don't believe it.
Perfect.
That's so smart.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. I mean, it talks about you have like a really close relationship, you know?
Very much so. That's my right hand.
Great.
Hmm.
I miss him. I
Oh,
won't lie to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know my mother is very ill and I'm her primary caregiver, and she has taken
oh,
a very bad turn since the beginning of the year. So
okay.
I won't be able to travel this year. I won't be able to go see the games. So we're going to all watch from home. So we're going to make just big parties out of each and every game.
Hmm.
great.
Yes, yes, you
But
do
then,
that.
but then again, we can use like these new digital tools, and well, every day you can send him like the text you told us about earlier, you know, like
Yeah.
you you get to feel closer to him with the phone, you know what I mean? Like
Yes, we can
exchange
always video
videos.
chat.
Yeah.
And
It's
also, I
all,
know he's very close to her, right? So,
oh, he's extremely close to his grandmother. We call her Banny.
uh-huh.
My mother actually fell ill when Larry was 6 months old. So I got two for the price of one. So my mother was able in the earlier years to watch Larry for me, and she basically raised him so that I could work 7 days a week to take care of us as a family.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
their bond is just unbelievable.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, she loves her grandson. You can't tell her nothing about him. That is her superstar.
She feels very proud, right?
Oh my gosh, that she carries pictures with him. That's the first thing whenever
Oh,
she sees anybody, doctors, whenever if she goes into the hospital, it's the first thing she does is she sets all her pictures up so that he can be right there with her.
Oh, that is so
That's
sweet. I'm gonna start
that's
crying.
very cute. We're gonna start crying here.
Yeah,
Oh
we're
no,
gonna
yeah.
start
no, it's
crying
all
here.
good stuff. It
No,
really
but it's too
is.
cute. It's too cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
But
yeah.
I think like Mexican culture or Latino culture is, you know, like we are really close to our grandmas and our moms. And it's something that you don't see very often, like in the US, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true.
So maybe that's why we are like, oh, and like really, you know, like this touch our hearts, because personally I am like really close to my grandma and my mom and my family, and I know maybe Almis and Haiti they are too. Like Haiti in her case, well, with her son and with her daughter, right?
Yes, yes. Even though they both of them live already outside my house. I live in Acapulco and they live in Mexico City now. It's very close, but I don't get to see them that much. And but I still have one more daughter here, so I'm like
Yeah.
splitting
Oh,
time between Acapulco and Mexico City. But yeah, every time I part ways with them, I cry.
it
Every time.
it's very hard. I remember me and my daughter leaving him in Missouri.
Oh,
And Larry graduated, and within the week after his graduation, we were already going to Missouri to get him ready to enter college. And me and my daughter, we tried so hard to keep it together, and we were just bawling. It was just
Hmm.
we were happy, but we've never been without him. He's been our rock. He was the one who did everything for us at home. He was my
Wow.
support, and it was rough. But now, he comes in, and he's able to come and go, and it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel, maybe you don't know, but I'm from Mexico, but I live in California since 2017.
Oh,
So all my family lives in Mexico, and I've been living out of my house since I was 18 because I went to another city to study my college. And I can feel like, how do you feel when you get a part of your kid and saying goodbye? Like, I mean, every time I go to Mexico and I say goodbye to my family, I'm like crying all the time. Like, a couple of hours before, during we are driving to the airport, like, it's sad, but then like I remember the time that I spent with them, and I'm happy again. But always, always, you like, it's going to break my heart anytime I go to Mexico. Like, yeah,
It's always hard to leave those that you love, but
yeah.
we do it, and we have to be strong. And I'll tell you, it I would go to Missouri, and I always stayed at Larry's. I didn't have the luxury of being able to stay at hotels, but he had the same roommates throughout his college. And everybody called me mom. They knew I was sleeping on the couch. And when I came, I was going grocery shopping. They would have food set up for days, things in the freezer. I would stock everything. I do everybody's laundry. People don't understand. They think that it's so much fun, and you just get to go to the games, and you tailgate, and you party with the other families. There's a lot of other stuff behind it. You got these young men, and they don't have time for anything. And everything gets backed up. And when mom comes and she's staying, you get to do everything. I was cleaning, cooking, laundry. That was me. Shopping.
So did you get to bake them a lot?
I'm sorry?
Did you get to bake a lot for them?
Not as much as I did cook. They wanted food.
We have seen your pictures on Twitter about your food. Oh my God, they look so good.
Oh, thank you. I love to cook. I absolutely love to cook. And with Larry not being in the house anymore, I find like I'll cook and I give it to people. Kind of trying to find people to feed, because I'm so used to cooking a much larger amount than what we would actually need in the house now.
Yeah, exactly. It's difficult. You still cook for more people, and there's one less.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have to do that. I do the same, because we just be 5 and there's only 3 of us. So I get it.
Yeah, we have a lot of leftovers.
Yes. But that's good, because you must have guests very often.
I do and I don't. I try to, once Larry was drafted, I was never a very social person, but I tried to cut it down even a little bit more, because you find people do come out of the woodworks, and people do start asking and requesting things. And I don't think they understand how it really works. Tickets aren't free in the NFL. Let's just put that out there, ladies. Tickets are not free. The players get 2 tickets to home games, which are really good seats. Outside of that, they have to pay for other seats. And when they go away to away games, the seats are so terrible that the organization won't even give them to us, because they're just that bad. So, so I just sort of tell people, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do right now. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, it must be difficult. Everybody asking for not only tickets, maybe merchandise and
a lot of autographs.
Yes,
pictures.
Yeah.
You know what? I try my best. I tell people, if you have something you want him to sign, drop it off at the house when he comes into town. I let him know when he's coming into town. I'll have him sign everything, and when he leaves, you guys can come pick it up. Just that simple. And we do that. Larry's very gracious about things like that, because he knows where he's come from, and he's very humble. We know what it is to fight to be where you are, and then get there, and you still have to fight. You have to fight to maintain where you are. So he's very appreciative of everybody that supports him.
I think we all admire that, but then again, that's because, because of you, you know what I mean? Like, you put that seed on him that, hey, you gotta be humble, you gotta work, and maybe you got to be, put some effort and give them extra mile and everything, right? So I always think that is because our mom told us or teach us how to do that.
Exactly. I instilled in Larry from a young age a piece of advice that a very good friend of mine gave me, and she raised 3 very successful children. And she always said, You can work hard now and take it easy later, or you could take it easy now and work hard the rest of your life. The choice is yours. And I'm like, that's really sound advice, and so I started telling Larry that, like, I know it's hard work. I know it's dedication. I know you have to give up your social life. You have to give up everything. But if you want your dream, this is what you have to do to get there. And when you get there, you can take a little sigh, and later on it's going to pay off. And it did.
And it has.
Can I ask you something about your daughter? What are
Of
your
course.
expectations for her? Do you see her playing a sport or something?
She is not athletically gifted like her brother. She is artistically gifted. She is
There
more
you
of an
go.
artist. Yeah, she loves to sing, and she plays music. She crochets. She's just very artistic. So she's more like my grandmother, and Larry is more like my grandfather.
Oh,
It's all in the family.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
okay. Well, I have a question for you, Joelle.
Of course.
What was your role as a mom during Larry's childhood as a football mom?
My role
Mm-hmm.
to be supportive and be positive, and just be there. If anybody needed anything, just to talk, anything, just be there. And that was basically what it was, being a rock, being consistent.
Being
Because
in all
I
the
know that,
things.
I'm sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
know that there was a transition, right, from being a basketball mom to be a football mom. What were your reactions when he decided to go to another sport?
I cried. I was devastated. I was a basketball mom from the time Larry could walk. I think my neighbors thought I was nuts. He was like 1 year old. Now, Larry walked when he was 7 months, but he was a year old, and I would have him walk up and down the street, and he'd dribble a basketball. And I just have him up and down the street from when he could walk. And he one day tells me, I got to give it up, Mom. I got to go with football. Football is going to get me to college. And he was like, there's a bigger avenue for me to get to college in football than it is basketball. And I cried, and then we got over it, and that was it.
Oh.
And look at you and look at him right now. So right decision.
He made the right choice. He's
right.
been a very good decision maker. I've never questioned any decisions that he's made. We always talk about everything, but ultimately the end decision is usually always his. And this is a quick one, girls, but the one time I tried to make a decision for him, and I really realized at that point my son was grown, is when he told me no. And I wanted him to leave college early. He, in his last year, he had an injury, and it took him out. It was COVID. So it took him out maybe 4 weeks, 2 games out of the season. And I didn't want him to return. I wanted him to immediately go with his agent and start training for the combine. He wanted to finish the season out. I could care less. At that point, I didn't care about the season at Mizzou. And I'm like, Larry, this is what's going to happen. And he was like, no, Mom, it's not. It's my choice. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. I want to finish the season out with my teammates at Mizzou. And I was crushed. I said, oh my God, he's grown. I can no longer make choices for him. I can give my input. I can give the best sound advice I can. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, what he's going to do is what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's not a kid anymore. That's when you realize that, right?
Oh, that was the moment. That was the turning point for me right there. I knew I no longer, I still carry weight, but it's not the same. It's when you have, as a mother, you have to start letting your children make those crucial decisions on their own.
Right. And which is your favorite memory as a mom of an NFL football player? Like you have like one specific special moment, maybe when he was in high school, or maybe right now when he's in the NFL.
I think every time he steps out on that NFL field, it is a new, beautiful moment and special moment for me personally. And for his entire career, I think every time he steps out on that field, it's going to feel the same.
Oh,
It gives you chills, right?
Yes, it does. It really does. I can't believe it sometimes. I'm like, holy shit, he's playing professional ball. Like, we talked about this. We talked his coming up, you know, through high school and through college. Like, when he was in high school, we never said, if you go to college, we always said, what college are you going to go to? And then when he got to college, it wasn't, if you make it to the league, it's, I wonder which team is going to draft you, because we believe in speaking things into existence. But then it really happened. And I'm like, this really, it works. Like, everybody should do this. Affirmations, speaking into existence.
Yeah, that's right. So be honest with us.
Yes.
Do you like the, do you like that Larry is in the Bears, or you rather that he's another team?
I wish he would have went somewhere with better weather, but the Bears, they are such a huge organization. They're iconic. They have such a rich background. To play for the Bears, to me, is one of the best things you can do if you're in the NFL. So no, I'm not. He can, as long as he's playing and he's happy, I'm good.
Right.
There it is. Also,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Natalie, I have to say something. I am so happy he's not a Packer or a Lions, especially a Lions. I know you live in Detroit, in the Detroit area, but I just despise Lions.
I did not want him to go to the Lions. I prayed, like, Lord, please, not
Your
the
soulmate.
Lions. That's terrible.
I'm sorry, and this is not about the Lions players or the team. This is about the fans. They are terrible.
Oh my gosh. So I went to my first Lions game last year when the Bears played on Thanksgiving. And I was surrounded by nothing but Lions fans. And I was miserable. And I said, I'll never go to another game here again. It's horrible. They're horrible. I said, oh my God.
See,
and we
it's
really
not
got it. We really got it because we're the only ones in that section in Bear jerseys. I got big signs, poster boards, everything. It was terrible. It was horrible. I'm sorry, it was.
No, I'm so glad you said that. I feel less bad about telling you the truth. I don't like them.
It's okay. I don't like them either.
No,
we're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them twice this year.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. and right now, like, all the hype is with the Lions, like a lot of specialists said that the Lions are gonna make it to playoffs and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, I mean, maybe.
But they're doing positive things within their organization as well. It seems like right now they're making all the right moves, but let's wait till we get out on the field and see what type of product they have.
Are you ready?
I'm sorry?
It has happened before, making the right moves and having a great draft and everything. And
exactly, because I love what the new organization is doing with the Bears. I love when I watched them during preseason, I definitely saw an identity. I saw something I hadn't seen last season. And everybody was very disciplined. There were very few penalties. I mean, they played clean football, and that's what we want. And they were aggressive, much more aggressive than I saw last year.
Yeah.
Good.
Are you ready Are you ready for tomorrow, Joelle?
Yes, I am. I'm ready.
To beat the 49ers?
We are going to beat the 49ers.
We are ready.
Alma,
right.
Alma,
Bosa better watch out.
tell Joelle about your connection with the 49ers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, Alma has her heart divided in two.
Yeah, like I love the Chicago Bears. Like I love them. Like Chicago is my favorite city in the US. For me, it's perfect. It's so beautiful. Like actually, I'm here because of visiting some family, and tomorrow I'm going to the game. But I have a big crush with Jimmy G, like a big
Oh.
one, like a big one. But the thing is that
Like,
I love, yeah, like I can, like if he asked me to be his wife, I can accept like in that right moment. Like wouldn't even think about it. But I like Jimmy G. Like I like the 49ers. Like I live in Northern California. I used to live in Bay Area, and then I moved to Sacramento. So I'm pretty close to San Francisco, like 1 hour and a half driving, so it's not that far. But my heart is for the Chicago Bears all the way, all the time. Like even though in the past years when they have this game in between 49ers and Chicago Bears, I always support the Bears. I went to a game in San Francisco between Chicago and 49ers on 2014, and the Bears won. Like we were visiting San Francisco, many people was cheering me up. So like I like San Francisco, but my heart is Chicago Bears, like all the time.
Listen, we won't hold it against you. We still love you. It's okay. At least you're truthful.
Yeah, she is.
I watch a lot of other teams. Going through college, we have players that play on a multitude of teams, and I like to watch all of them. I like to see what everybody is doing. I just like the game. I like to see good football.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's for like us. Like we enjoy watching like the games. We are very passionate about the sport. Yeah, like Nasle, she does a lot of other work besides like this podcast. She does like some reporting and interviews, and she is like in so many other places. Like she is like a multitask girl, and she loves also the NFL, the sports. And now we have like this, this is a very female podcast, and we are so happy that we three got together and have like this idea to talk more about the female side of in the sports, right? What do you think about like there's more women going through all the sports, like more voices, more women are close to the players and on the games? What's your point of view about that?
I think it's great. I think that women need to get into this industry. I think that our opinions, our voices should be heard, and that it's needed. We need to have another view. And I think that it's just groundbreaking when I see that there are women that are refereeing. There's women that are coaching now. I love to see a woman coach in football. That's awesome. I'm so for that. And we need to get all the women that we can to represent that love football.
Nice. And it's not about gender, right?
I'm sorry?
It's not about gender. I mean, like even though if you're a girl or a guy, you can teach football or you can be a referee.
Well, look, I think I can recruit. And I kept telling everybody, let me recruit. I know how to spot talent. Let me recruit. And they said, recruiters usually have played the game or they've coached. I'm like, look, there's an exception to every rule. Let me be that exception. I can recruit. And I thought, shoot, maybe I can be an agent too. I'll do it all. I don't care.
There's a certain player that surely needs an agent. Do you know his name?
I think I could have did. I might have worked some magic for him.
we hire you. We now hire you as his agent.
I'll represent him. He always call. Let me go in
Please
there. I
do.
got a few things to tell those people. I know
Yeah,
what's going on.
Tell us what's
we-
going on.
I
know
bet
what's
you know.
going on.
We don't want him to leave.
No,
He's a
absolutely
huge
not.
star. He's
He is.
an excellent player. So please, Joelle,
He
His
just needs
presence in the
a
locker
manager.
room.
He
Listen,
just needs a manager.
yeah, you know, his presence in the locker room, his leadership qualities. This team needs that very much so, because it is filled with young players.
yes, and after Akeem Hicks left, because I considered him the leader of the defense, especially if not the whole team, the defense. And now that he's left, they need someone to step up.
Most definitely. Well, it's good to have him, and I'm sure that we can get a deal worked out.
Yeah, we can write the contract right now and maybe just email it to you. You
Yeah.
can sign it.
Look, I'll go over it. I'll look at all the fine print. I will figure it out. I'm telling you, but they got to give me my cut too.
Yes,
Of course.
Of course.
Smart.
Most definitely. You know, this business, I think that if we take the personal out of it and people really look at it for what it is, and it is a business, and it's a big money business. And if the players, you know, sometimes you gotta take your feelings out of it, and you have to approach things from that standpoint, and you can get a lot further done. I think a lot more done.
Yep, surely.
And I want to, you know, thank you, girls. I think that this is absolutely amazing that you guys put this all together, and it seems like you have so much fun.
Yes, we do.
A lot.
Where's everybody's cocktails? Should we be having cocktails? Like, what time is it for you girls?
11:39.
11:39.
It's too early.
I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water.
Yeah, water for me too.
I have my diet due.
Oh, okay.
This is my
Next time
choice.
we can make it. We can make it next time a little bit later, and so the four of us could have a cocktail or a beer or something, and
You
we
should
can
do cocktails and conversations.
exactly.
I'm good at it. I'm good at cocktails and making conversations.
Yes, cocktails and conversations.
Confessions.
I think
Confessions.
it'd be awesome.
Confessions.
Oh my God.
So as we said, or as we saw in your Twitter, you are a great cooker and you like to cook and everything. So what is your favorite food, and what's Larry's favorite food?
We love Mexican food, and we would go down to we have we call it Southwest Detroit, and that's our like little Mexico. And you have all authentic cooking there, and it's so much fun. So that's what we really enjoy. You know, that's it. I made carne asada yesterday.
Oh,
My first time.
We love carne asada.
It was my first time. I think I did okay. I'm gonna play with the recipe a little bit.
Okay, let us know how it turns out.
I'll post pics next time. Next time when I get it right. I don't like to post pictures unless I'm confident in what I have.
Okay.
you can ask us for any recipe, and we can, any of the three of us, we can tell you like how.
I don't cook. I don't. I can't help you. I can't help you with that.
Well, me and myself.
Well, the other two of you.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I'm sorry. I'm not good in the kitchen.
That's okay. That's why there's other people that are. It's absolutely fine. You can always go out to eat.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I just bought myself an air fryer, and I think it's the best thing I have ever buy. You know, like it has saved my life in so many ways. Like
And I'll tell
my
you,
mom is grateful. I don't, you know, like I don't cook anymore. Like I just connect the air fryer and that's it. My mom is really grateful about it.
that is great. You know, air fryers are wonderful for leftovers too. They make pizza taste like you just got it.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever. I'm
It
in
is.
love with my air fryer.
Now, I like my Instant Pot. I have an Instant Pot, and I love that. That's the slow cooker, the pressure cooker.
Yes,
And I love to use that.
yes, I use mine almost every day.
It is amazing. And it, you know, you can take any meat and it comes out tender no matter what you do. So I like that because it's foolproof. I can't mess anything up.
Exactly. Foolproof is the word. Exactly.
That's right.
And what about baking? Because you bake more, you like baking more than cooking?
I do. I do.
Yes, I can see that.
I really enjoy baking, and I think now that I stopped working the beginning of the year to take care of my mom full time. And so I have a little bit more time on my hands so I can play with things a little bit more. And eventually I've always talked about a food truck and maybe having a food truck. And then I thought it'd be really cool to have Larry on the food truck and then go to the games, like travel to all the games, do the home games and the away games and tailgate and sell things out of the truck. I was like, I bet that would be really fun.
Yes.
Yes, great. Yeah.
Maybe one day look in a city near you, we may get like big LBs. You never know.
Yeah.
I think that would be a hit.
Yeah,
I
it will
think
be
so. I think I might be. We might put something in the making. You never know.
Let us know.
I'll give you girls the heads up.
Of
Okay.
course. So, I want to ask you another question. I'm very curious about. Do you have like a favorite moment or a memory you being a mom, like as an NFL mom, like for you, besides like when he got drafted on 2021, but another memory that you have? Like, I know that you said that every time he steps out the field, like you feel like it's the first time, and I can feel it, right? Because it's like being in the NFL, being a professional football player, it's like a dream for all the guys that play sport. But like you have like one or two favorite moments or memories that you can remember and that you can share with us.
Okay, my gosh, I have so many.
Oh, nice. You can share all.
I think one thing, the first game that I attended, I got lost trying to get to the parking structure where we were supposed to park, which is where the players park. And the head of security, Tony, shout out to Tony, came in traffic and jumped in the back of the car and led me through so I could get to the right spot. Then he had a golf cart waiting with a security person that took us all around and got us to our seats. And we had the funnest time. I mean, it was just the funnest time ever for us. And that was really, really memorable for me. Oh. So I look for Tony every time. I tell him, I'm trouble. Here comes trouble. And then
shout out to Tony.
Yeah, shout out to Tony. He's awesome. He handles everybody's problems, not just mine.
Tony, handle my life, please.
Yeah, can you help us?
That was a good one, because I'll tell you, I was so lost. It was so confusing, that the stadium and where they have you go. The instructions weren't clear. Now this year, with the new regime, they changed things up a little bit, and I think it's much easier. They were a little bit more organized in giving directions to the parents.
Oh,
if
wow.
that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And it already sounds better. Everything, the whole picture.
Yes. And, you know, I always loved when we would go to the hotel and you see the players come in, and that's exciting for me. And my son, he always tells me, you know, you can't be a fan, Mom. You're a mom. Like, we're here. I'm like, I'm a fan. What do you mean I can't be a fan? Like, oh my God. There goes Justin Fields. Like, you're not going to introduce me? When they came here on Thanksgiving, I cooked a huge Thanksgiving meal, and I boxed up a bunch of stuff and I took it up to the hotel they were staying at for Larry to give to some of the guys. And I think he was so embarrassed that I did that. And I don't know why that would be embarrassing, but I don't think he gave it to anybody. I think he ate it himself.
Well, you don't know, but in any case, I think the guys would be very grateful and they would love you for that.
I thought it was a nice gesture. I think maybe I overstepped my bounds a little bit with Larry. Like, I'm not about to hand out dinners that my mother made. You know, like, I'm trying to like, you're from here. Are you kidding me?
Tell Larry, you don't know, they may be craving some home cooking, and they may be craving mom's cooking.
But I'm gonna tell you, I had a whole box for Justin until Larry told me he's vegan, and I'm like, oh yeah, he won't be eating any of this. No idea he was vegan. I should have did my research. I'm like, oh yeah, there's turkey, there's greens with smoked turkey in it. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, no.
Wow. So Joelle, what type of fan are you? Like the one who's screaming in the TV, the one who's yelling, or the one, you know, like believes he's the coach?
I am very serious during the games. I'm like locked in and focused, and I'm watching Larry the whole time when the offense is on. And then when defense comes on, I can relax a little bit. But when offense is on, I am a nervous wreck. I'm literally glued to the tube. And all I'm trying to do is focus on Larry. I'm trying to break down his plays, make sure he had his assignment right, that he picked up his assignment. It's horrible.
And then you're like
to come to my house. Then people don't like to come to my house and watch it. And I'm like, shh, be quiet. I got to listen to the announcers. I got to hear, are they talking about Larry yet? I'm horrible.
So you rather prefer watching the games by yourself, no other people, just in case?
My mom and my daughter, yeah, they're like the ones. And with my mom, she doesn't see too well, and I got a huge TV, but I have to tell her, like, sometimes get up and point, like, he's right here. He's right here, Mom, right here. Just watch him right here.
Wow, that's nice.
Sounds
because
like a lot of fun.
We need to tell you that we are like, we like to scream to the TV and to get mad and to say, like, turn off the TV, like they're losing or something. But we are very supportive. Like, I'm super positive. Nasle is as well very positive, and Heidi is very positive. But with the three, we are very positive. Like, every time, every game. But even though it's like, you get mad, like, you know, if they're losing, you get mad.
I swear a lot.
It's hard to lose. It's hard to lose. But in every game, there has to be a winner and a loser. It sucks, but that's the way it is, you know.
And it hurts when they lose against the Packers. Like,
yes, I agree. I have one of Larry's teammates from college was an undrafted free agent for the Packers this year, and he ended up getting cut, but
Oh,
I was like, I told his mom, holy shit, you're a cheesehead. Like, really? Like, how are we rivals at this point? This is not this. What are we going to do? We're going to yell at each other. Now,
yeah,
do you girls watch, when you watch the games, do you guys converse with each other? Do you text back and forth?
We text and tweet. We text and tweet.
yeah.
We have
We have-
go ahead, Katie.
Yeah, we have a WhatsApp chat with there's about, I don't know, 30 of us. Not
Like
only
30.
women, of course. We're the only
We
three
are the
women
only three
in
women.
that
The only
chat.
three.
I love
And-
it.
So we chat with them a lot. And then we go to Twitter and we swear a lot. And then we go back to the chat and swear in the chat. And we recently had a Zoom meeting. There was a moment there were 11 of us, I think, and we were having drinks and we had a great time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, getting
Yeah,
ready.
it is.
Awesome. Isn't it good
And-
that like football is a one forum where you can cuss and curse and it's totally accepted? It's actually wanted. You know, the madder you get,
yes.
the more upset, the more stuff that comes flying out, the better it is.
Exactly.
Therapeutic though. It's like, like it relaxes ourselves to scream to the TV.
Yes, you can be yourselves. You can let it go.
It's a stress relief.
Yeah, it's
It
definitely.
is definitely a stress reliever.
Yes, liberating. I watch games all alone, so I'm okay having nobody around me because
No.
nobody watches football
Oh,
here at
wow.
home. I used to watch with my dad, but not because they don't like football. I tried, but I couldn't. So, but I'm happy with that. I can yell as loud as I want, and nobody comes near me when I'm watching a game, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Maybe my neighbors, they all watch football, so sometimes we get together, but not many times because I yell a lot.
Oh, that's okay.
I love it.
Yeah, I mostly watch it by myself because here I'm from Ciudad Victoria, which is like a really small city in Mexico. So I'm actually I think I'm the only fan here of the Bears. Like I
Oh,
think I
wow.
have only met one guy, but I don't know who he is, but he's like a Bears fan. But I think we're the only two people in Ciudad Victoria that are a Bear fans. So
Oh my God.
I totally watch the game by myself. Yeah, it's hard, but I have my girls in WhatsApp
That's
and in
right.
Twitter.
Your
So
support.
Yeah.
yeah, we
Your
make
support
drinks.
system. Then
Yeah.
you sort of know how I feel when I'm walking around in Bears gear every day, all day. And people are looking at me like, you support the Bears? You're a Bears fan? And I proudly said, look, my son is a Bear, so you can step back. I don't care what you say.
That's a good response.
You know, because people like, like, what do you mean,
Yes, you're not a Packers or a Detroit Lions.
Or a Detroit
No.
fan.
I'm rocking the Bears. That's it.
I'm surrounded
Yes.
by Cowboys fan. I'm literally done with Cowboys fan. Like where I live, it's close to Texas. There are a lot of Cowboys fan. I'm like, oh my God, they are so unbearable. Like sometimes they are like, oh, your team isn't that good because like you just have one Vince Lombardi and blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't care. But they
Right.
are like really annoying.
Just love that everybody is an expert on what our team is. Let our team be, and we will show you who we are on the field. You know, everybody has so many they're so opinionated. But if people didn't have opinions, we wouldn't have this platform, and we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
Yes, but especially this season, comments have been terrible by analysts by media and many fans,
Horrible.
sadly, horrible. And I love that we are the underdogs because I love to shut up people's mouths. Just
Exactly.
let them talk, and I am so sure we're gonna be good this season.
I believe
So-
we're gonna shock a lot of people. A
Yes.
lot of people. And I
Exactly.
think that they're still gonna give us shit. They're not gonna stop. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we go 17-0. They're still gonna give us mess. It's just the way it is. You know, they got to talk about somebody, and it just so happens to be us. And until they find somebody else that they want to drag through the mud, I think it's going to still be us.
Yeah, exactly.
So Joelle, thank you so much for letting us talk to you and interview you. So just, like to close the interview, what are your predictions for this season? How many
I'm gonna
have?
go real bold, because I'm gonna go super bold and just say, let's say 17-0.
Hey. I like you. I like your positive.
I want to, you know what? I believe you shoot for the stars, that you go as high as you can go. You know, that's how I feel. I said, let's take it. Let's go all the way.
Yes.
Great. So
that's how it has
go.
to be.
What do you girls think? What are your predictions?
Oh,
I didn't expect that one.
We didn't expect that. But well, we have talked about it, and well, at least my prediction, 10-7, like that's 10 fair. W's and 7. Yeah,
that's fair.
I'm positive about the future.
I'm also very
bright.
I'm also very optimistic, and I said 11-6.
Oh,
so
okay.
I believe.
And
I'm liking it.
There's a role for everyone. I was always Miss Positivity, and I have been very criticized for that, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna be a realist, just because I hate people to come at me so often because I am too positive and too optimistic. And this time I said, okay. And this was before pre-season games, because my mind changed a lot after watching them play, and I said 8-9, but but I know they will win more than that.
I am so excited for this season. I am so excited for tomorrow night, and I can't wait. And hopefully we can do it again, girls, and we'll be talking at the end of the season and going over our
Of course.
Yes, please.
Definitely gonna do this again, but with cocktails. Yeah.
Yes, cocktails and conversations, girls. Yes, I love it.
Thank you so much.
I have to say something. I love the bear that is on the back of you, Joelle.
Really
thank you. Oh, the bear?
Yeah.
Before we get off, quick story. First time I went to Chicago to visit Larry, and we went over to Great America, and Larry won that bear on the coin, the rings. You toss the rings over the bottles. And we were down to our last few rings, and we split the rings, and the last one went over the bottle top. And he won. I said, a bear for a bear.
Oh,
wow. That's a great story.
Yeah, it was amazing. So he told me, take it home, Mom.
Oh, it's so nice.
So nice. Joelle, once again, thank you so much. We hope you had a lot of fun, and of course we're gonna do this anytime soon, hopefully with cocktails again. So thank you so much again. Thank you. And gracias a todos los que nos estuvieron escuchando y nos estuvieron viendo también por YouTube. Esperemos que les haya gustado. Ella es Joelle Borom, la mamá de Larry Borom, y estamos muy contentas y muy felices de que este podcast siga creciendo, porque en definitivo es pues para mostrar el lado femenino también, y que bueno, también cómo lo ven todas las mamás familiares de los jugadores, porque sabemos que siempre van a ser nuestras fans número uno. Muchísimas gracias por estarnos viendo y siguiendo. Recuerden darle like a nuestras publicaciones. Estamos en Twitter y en Instagram a nombre de Almis, de Heidi y a nombre de Joelle Borom. Mi nombre es Nasle Briones. Gracias a la familia de Fanaticosos por esta producción y nos vemos pronto y bear down.
Thank you, Joelle.
Thank you, girls. Enjoy your day.